Hi, we now are going to model the upper part. I'm going to try to speed up a little bit the process of modeling so this doesn't get extremely long. So we are basically just going to do the same thing that we've done before, just draw some shapes following the image and extrude them, chamfer the edges for the initial bits of this upper body. So basically, let's just draw this bit down there. So basically, it goes inside the handle around this bit here, goes all the way to this point. Then this piece seems to run over here. Let's just delete this vertex, I don't need it. Just a little bit. Create a new line for this base plate. You can be more precise when you're doing that. I'm just doing it on the flight, trying to be slightly fast. Okay, so close this one here. Yes, I have two splines for these parts. I'm just going to extrude them like I've done before. So I'm just going to select one of them. The mouse is really not helping me. Probably I have to change the batteries or something. So I'm just going to add an extrusion. Here. See on top view, if you press T, you can see on the top view. See the amount that I want to extrude that. Probably something to fit what I have here on the green shape. So that was 15. That's 15 as well. Okay, so same thing. I'm just going to go there, add an edit poly, select the edges. I'm going to select all of them. I'm just going to slightly chamfer those edges. Let me just see if they're okay. Yeah, they seem fine. Add more segments, and that's this bit. Now let's get the base plate. I have to get out of the modifier in order to be able to select a different object. So if I go to modifier, go to extrude, select the amount that I want to extrude, go to top view, and just move this to the same alignment as below. Change that to 2.5. I get my base plate there. Same thing, go add an edit poly, select the edges, select all of them, go to my chamfer and add more segments to it. So press F3, you can see that roughly we have one of the main components of the upper body. Get out of here, view, go back to our image just to double check, and you can see that we have here quite a few, like a significant amount of detail here, like you know, one plate that comes over this, then we have a bump, and I'm just going to skip most of this and just go straight to the air inlets. So I'm just going to create a rectangle actually, and just going to wrap this bit, add some radiuses to the corners. That seems alright. So if I get my move here and I hold the X axis and I press Shift, it's going to copy the element, and I can just select how many copies I want to do. I'm just going to do 4. These ones are obviously not as good, so I'm just going to modify the rectangle, changing the length, no, not the length, the width of this one, deleting that one. I'm just going to copy this guy on top of that one. Okay, go back there. See that I have my shapes there. I'm just going to attach them together, because basically it's going to be a pain in the ass doing one by one. So if I add like the edit poly, add an edit spline, you can see that I get the level of modification that I was getting on the polys on the spline. So I'm just going to attach several ones. The same thing applies to polys as well, or meshes. And if I attach them, they become just one entity, and I'm just going to extrude them visible amount just to get full intrusion on the earlier part. So I'm just going to select this one, I'm going to go to create geometry and get compound objects, and I'm just going to get boolean, which is going to perform a solid operation. And you can select the type of operation that you have here as union, intersection, but at the moment we need subtraction. I'm just going to see here, I have like operands, and I have a subtraction A minus B. So all I need is to select B, which is the geometry that I'm going to use to subtract from this piece. So I'm just going to pick operand B, click on this, and you can see that we have this subtraction of the air inlets on the rifle there. Okay, if I go back to my image, let's see what is missing here. Is basically it's missing the handle, which is quite an organic shape. Basically, if you have a look on the other pictures that you have as a reference, you see that the handle is basically a triangle with rounded corners, and that's what we are going to use to model the handle. So I'm just going to create a spline, which is an angle, and select the number of sides. Since it is a triangle, it's going to be 3. I'm just going to draw a triangle here, constrain the rotation, set the rotation to be, orthogonal. I'm just going to move it into position here and basically add the fillet modifier that didn't work before, but now I'm going to make it work. So just select where you want to add the fillet and you get the radiuses, but why not use the same one for all of them? So I'm just going to select all vertices. I'm going to add the radiuses until it suits here. It should be something like that, maybe. Just have a look on the picture. Yeah, it's quite rounded, so it will be something more or less like that. Okay, I've created a profile that I'm going to extrude along this x-axis, and I just need to place it well on the whole drawing. So I'm just going to rotate it, so I just have to get out of the modifier. I've turned on my angle snap, so all I need is a nice 90 degrees here to be orthogonal. I'm just going to move it to its place, which could be somewhere around here, and then I'm just going to add an extrusion to it until it reaches the end bit there. Alright, but we can see on the image that we have this deformation on this extrusion that I have here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add more segments, refine more my poly until I get a number that I think I can use to deform the shape in order to fit that the goal that I'm trying to achieve. So I've got that. I'm going to get my edit poly. I'm going to select the vertices. I'm just going to move this first row here to a position that I think it works. Move a second one, yeah, this one here as well, and yeah, just see how I'm going to fit it. Maybe this one around here. That's quite a straight segment over there, so I'm just going to get this one somewhere here. Yeah. Then that one I'm going to bring to the end, curvature. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do is just, if you have a look on the perspective, what I'm selecting is, at the moment, are all the vertices around. I just need the ones on the bottom. Those are the ones that I'm going to move. And so if you just go back where I can get the reference from the picture, I'm just going to select these guys here. Actually, I'm going to select both, and I'm just going to move them into the position that they should be. But if I go back to my view, you can see that that's not precisely what I want. So I can go to my left view, get those edges, and